Hi and welcome to another gaming video, and today I want to ask a question. Is the DSi faster than the original DS and DS Lite? Technically the DSi is a successor to the original DS Lite. It brought in a lot of new features such as an actual operating system or system software on the machine, cameras, a memory card slot. But digging down into the hardware, the DSi has a 133 MHz processor, 16 meg of RAM and the same 33 MHz co-processor, whereas the original DS and the DS Lite only had a 67 MHz processor, 4 meg of RAM, and well, they had the same 33 MHz co-processor. So looking at it from a hardware point of view, yes, the DSi's processor is twice as powerful and the system RAM is 4 times as much as the original DS Lite. Now that all sounds great, but what can you do with it? Not a lot. If you put in a DS game into a DSi, it kind of reverts into DS mode, so it doesn't take advantage of the extra power of the DSi, or with the twice the processing power doesn't really come into effect. And you think, well, that's alright. That's pretty similar to the 3DS. It's a faster machine, but when you play DS games, it goes into DS mode. And I get that. But the 3DS has a huge amount of software that is exclusively for the 3DS, but it can also play DS games in DS mode. That's not the case with the DSi. There really was only a handful of DSi exclusive games. There was a couple of games that were DSi enhanced, so you could play them on the DS and the DSi. Really, I think there's less than 10 games that was a DSi exclusive. And those games, I'm assuming, would take advantage of the extra processor and the extra system RAM, but on a whole, DS games run just as well on a DS Lite or an original DS as they do on a DSi. So while the DSi technically is faster, like I say, the processor is twice as fast, there is very little that would take advantage of that. Perhaps the only thing that you might find is that any homebrew software possibly could take advantage of the extra processing power in the DSi. That's something I've had no experience with, but in general terms the DSi is a faster and more powerful console than the DS, but I really don't think anything ever took advantage of it. Let me know what you think. I could be wrong. Link, like, subscribe, enjoy.